Hi, this is Lawrence D. Adams, and today we're talking about self esteem. Self esteem. We've been on this journey with going through transformation and many roadblocks that many of you and I have experienced when it comes to transformation. I heard something interesting last week that really grabbed my mind and grabbed my attention, and that was that many of people can have all the hustle in the world, but they don't have the self-esteem to actually get there. That means that you can be such in a place that you can hustle, that you can make things happen, but you don't have the self-esteem. You don't know your self-worth. Are you in a place where you do not know your self-worth? Transformation takes place when you awaken to the fact that your self worth is important. Many of us have been robbed through many systems and through many avenues that our self worth has been ripped away from us and torn away from us. But your self worth is something that needs to be back embedded in you. And what do I mean by that? Like a computer, there's some things that you need to add to it to make it run at its top level. And what happens is many of us are just running at the basic level, and we have a basic computer or computer system. But when you have the best there is inside of that computer, what happens is it runs even better. So who robbed you of your self-esteem and your self-worth? Many of you have been robbed by your parents, by your community, by the environment that you're in, and they told you that you are not worth anything. They may not have just outright told you that, but they kept you in the crab in the bucket mentality that you can only go but so far. And so what happens is you only accomplish little things in your life and not big things. And then you're fighting inside of yourself, knowing that you can do more, but you don't feel that you're worthy of doing more. So you never get to the place of that transformation that you really need because your self-esteem has been robbed or has been taken away from you. Many people walk around and don't even know it, that their self-esteem has been taken away from them. And what happens is we end up attracting people, if we're not careful, who have the same self-esteem that we have. Therefore, we never experience the true transformation and elevation of who we are because our self-esteem is only, and the people around us are only at a certain level. That's why it's so important to choose who you commune with and who you decide to be in community with. Why do I say that? Because their self-esteem becomes a mirror to your self-esteem. That's why it's so important to get inside of a coaching group or immerse yourself with a group of people who believes in themselves, who believes that you can do more and they have accomplished more. One of the things that's robbing a lot of you and has robbed me a lot is I haven't been around the right people who believed in me like I needed. Now I can't blame them, but I had to look at my own self because I became comfortable being around people who believed at the same level I did. So what did I have to do? I had to start reading books. I had to start getting comfort. I had to start having conversations with people who didn't think like me. Now the little boy inside of me got nervous because it said, oh no, I'm not worthy of this. My self-esteem wasn't there. So what I had to do was, in many cases, I had to borrow their self-esteem in themselves and what they've seen in me to boost me up. Some of you are listening to this and your self-esteem needs to be recalibrated. Who's told you that you were not anything? Who told you that you couldn't accomplish your goal? Who told you that you couldn't make it? Who told you that you're only supposed to live in a certain area? So many people are drunken and intoxicated, but well, what's the color of my skin? And it's I was educated this way and I was educated that way. I'm here to tell you the most important thing you need to worry about right now is getting your self-esteem to a level that it causes you to walk inside of your transformation like never before. Your self-esteem has been assaulted. No one's taken the time to say, I believe in you. Your self-esteem needs to be gathered up, washed off, and told that I believe in you. One of the things that I do when my self-esteem I know is low, and it has gone low, is I will go into the mirror and say to myself, I believe in you. I like you. Good, bad, or indifferent. I had to speak into my self-esteem, or in the words of someone in the Bible who said, what? I encouraged myself. Some of you need to stop looking for others to encourage you, and you begin to encourage yourself and say, I will and I can do that. And let me give you a little phrase to take out of your life. That phrase you need to, this word you need to take out of your life. Please listen to what I'm saying to you. Take this out of your vocabulary. Try. You will not, either you're doing it or you're not. When someone says, I'm trying to get better, I'm trying to accomplish this, I'm trying to get out of debt, that means that you have made a decision that you're going to do it or you're not going to do it. Try, as one of my mentors used to say, is a weak word. Either you do it or you don't. So I am encouraging you today. You want to experience that transformation in your life. You need to be around people who are going to celebrate you and encourage you to what? Boost your self-esteem. What's robbing you from transformation in your life is your self-esteem. How do you really feel about yourself? Do you believe that you can accomplish what you need to accomplish? I'm going to give you something else. I just thought about it right now. Some of your self-esteem would not come or will not show up in your life until you step out and do something. Some of you waiting for this great feeling to come over you. Oh, I got your self-esteem, I can do it. Sometimes the self-esteem will not show up until you make the first step of faith and do something. I can't tell you how many times where my self-esteem went up when I actually just went out there afraid, scared, didn't know what anybody's going to say, what it was going to think, if I was going to if I was going to mess up or whatever the case may be. I decided I'm just going to do it. The moment I got out there, my self-esteem went up. It's like when you learn to ride a bike. My self-esteem wasn't there to ride a bike, but I can remember my dad, and I think I had a yellow bike or some kind of bike. I had a bike. They got for me around Christmas. It wasn't around Christmas, but they got me a bike. And we lived at the bottom of the hill on Mannery. And when my dad came out there, and he taught me, I had training wheels, so I would ride with the training wheel, 12 training wheels, and I would go up the hill. Then I would ride down and say, hey, hit the brakes. And I would backpedal and hit the brakes. Then finally said, you know what, son? We're going to take one of these training wheels off. I was like, oh boy, okay. So I rode with one training wheel, leaned to the side, and just rode. Then he said, you know what? After a few weeks, it's time for you to ride without your training wheels. And I have to tell you, I was completely nervous when it came to me riding without the training wheels. But finally, because my esteem was built up over time by doing something, by getting on the bike and falling off the bike, guess what? The goal was to ride up the hill. So I rode up the hill, I turned around, and I came down the hill, and I got nervous, and I hit the brakes, and I fell down. And my dad came over there and looked at me, dusted me off. He said, you know what? Get back on the bike and do it again. And it gradually, those words that my dad said to me was get back on the bike and do it again. Many of y'all need to hear that in your life. Get back on the bike and do it again. It was those encouraging words and that built my self-esteem that I was able to ride the bike without the training wheels. Some of y'all are in the place right now where you are still riding through life with the training wheels on. Oh yes, I'm talking to you. You're riding through life with the training wheels on. And you're wondering why you haven't gone any farther. I'm here to say, get your self-esteem up so you can experience the transformation that you need. So you can get the transformation that you need and take the training wheels off in your life. Your self-esteem is not going to go any further because you're still riding around with the training wheels on. But the moment, baby, I'm telling you, begin to ride around without the training wheels on, there's nothing no one can tell you. They can't stop you from riding a bike. You can stop riding a bike for 10 years and haven't rode it. You get back on it, you might be a little wobbly, but you will begin to ride again. Why? Because your self-esteem and how to ride a bike and your ability to do it was always there, and it would guide you to where you need to be at. So I'm saying this to you, many of us, our self-esteem needs to be examined. And some of the environments that we are in have been robbing us, and I'm going to say this, of our self-esteem only to control you. I know this is a lot for some people, but I'm saying it. Some of us, our self-esteem is strategically taken away from us only to control you. See, a person who has a solid, strong self-esteem and they believe in themselves is very little that you can say to them to try to control them. But your transformation comes when you begin to realize that your self-esteem needs to be examined, it needs to be recalibrated, it needs to grow and blossom. One of the other things that's robbing you of your self-esteem is your inability to forgive yourself. You have to forgive yourself so that your self-esteem can rise again. Many of us have failed, messed up, did things that we know wasn't right, but guess what? If you don't forgive yourself, I didn't say forgive anybody else yet. I'm saying that you need to forgive yourself so that your transformation and your self-esteem can grow through the roof. When is the last time you've given yourself grace and you allow your self-esteem to breathe. If you have not taken that time to forgive yourself, it's not the world that's stopping you. It's not the environment that's stopping you. It is not the job or the government. It is you who is stopping you. Your self-esteem grows in an environment of grace and forgiveness. If you want to experience that transformation, your self-esteem needs to be soaked in forgiveness and grace. Some of y'all have never forgiven yourselves for the things you've done, and most of all, the things that you say to your own self. That's why your self-esteem looks like an old dirty rag with holes in it. And you feel that you can't do nothing, accomplish nothing. You don't know that you're worthy because you haven't forgiven yourself. The next thing, or the third thing, is this. When your self-esteem is in place and you are in that transformational place, there is nothing no one can say to you that will take that away from you. Take your self-esteem back down. You stop caring what people think about you because you know what you think about you, and that's more important. When your self-esteem is in the proper place in your life and is healthy, other people's opinions means nothing. Their perceptions mean nothing. They can call you out. They can call you out your name. They can even look like they're disrespecting you. But you can't disrespect someone who already respects themselves, because their self-esteem is at a place of transformation where they are unbothered by your small thinking. So transformation takes place in the womb of your self-esteem. It's like the little train that was on the track, and I know all of us heard that story. I think I can, I think I can, I think I can, I think I can. And he started going and going up the track, and then I know I can, I know I can, I know I can. And finally he said, wait a minute, I'm doing it. He's up there. Why? Because his self-esteem experienced a transformation in believing in itself. So I'm challenging you today. Immerse yourself with people who are not going to pull down your self-esteem, but who's going to uplift your self-esteem. Get a coach. Get a coach that not only not going to do the work for you, but who's going to make you believe back in yourself. Now, I heard something that was interesting. Some of us may not have the self-esteem or may not believe in ourselves. And I heard this 2 times. Get someone who you can borrow their belief. Some of y'all need to borrow somebody's belief, even though you don't believe in yourself, so that you can experience the transformation that you're looking for. Your self-esteem is one of the keys that can transform your life from 0 to hero in 1.3 seconds. Don't allow anybody, any environment, or even yourself to rob you of your self-esteem. This is Lawrence D. Adams, and I'm out.